So in 1 Peter chapter 5, Peter starts out by saying that he's writing this section, this chapter, the last part of this letter, to elders. And elders in our understanding are pastors. And that's why he talks about them shepherding the flock and the chief shepherd and that kind of thing. They're not lay elders, they're the pastors of the church. So in verse 7, he's ministering to pastors and he says, casting all your care upon him because he cares for you. And the word care here has to do with anxiety, stress, worry. People who are in positions of authority, people who are in positions of responsibility, carry that, and they can carry it to a fault. There's something about being super responsible. The people who I see have the most amount of stress and the most amount of worry are super responsible people. So it's a strength, but it has a built-in downside. It has a weakness, and the weakness is if you're super responsible, you're trying to get good grades, you're trying to pass this test, you're trying to get this application in to get a particular job or to do a job that's been given to us. With that responsibility comes worry, stress. He calls it care. And pastors carry this more than anybody I know. There's no end to it. It's kind of like dairy farming. The job never comes to an end. As soon as you get through with one issue, there's another one waiting for you. It's the closest thing to farming. I remember I pastored a lot of farmers at one time, and I got thinking about their work, and I thought, boy, it's the same as mine. It just never ends. And the sense of responsibility is pretty great. So he's writing to them. This is a powerful word. He said, what you do is you cast your care, that anxiety, that stress, you cast that upon the Lord because he cares for you. The idea there is that he's responsible for you. So I would mentally change this verse around. This is how I used it in my life. Make him responsible because he's responsible for you. When I called it, when I saw it in terms of responsibility, and I made him responsible. Lord, I can't carry this. This will create a lower back problem for me if I have to carry this. I'm going to roll it over into your big hands, and I'm asking that you take care of it. It's like Abraham when he said to Isaac. Isaac said, where are we going to get a ram? And he said, God will see to it. Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will look after it. He'll see to it. It's that same kind of spirit, same kind of attitude, where you're not being irresponsible, you're being super responsible enough that you take it and you actually give it to the Lord for him to deal with, for him to manage. The idea of us is casting. It's actually literally roll over this weight, this responsibility into the hands of the Lord and let him take care of it. And it's the thing we forget to do. We think that we're the ones, we have to make it happen. We're the ones, we have to pay the bills. We're the ones, we carry the cares of people. We care about their salvation. We care whether they're going to make it. We care about false teaching. We care about all kinds of things. There's no end to it. So he says, what you do is you make the Lord responsible by rolling the responsibility over in his hand. And when I saw that, I mentally would put it into his big hand. He'd never let it fall through the cracks in his hands. He'd never put it on the shelf and forget about it. He'd never neglect it. When I made him responsible, he saw to it. He looked after it because he's super responsible. But he doesn't have the built-in weakness that we have, in that our sense of being super responsible will lead us to worry. It'll actually hurt our health. It'll break down, create back problems, headaches, people's jaw. They grind their teeth at night. They have their jaw locks up. All kinds of issues that come out of acute responsibility. I don't know any pastor who doesn't have lower back problems. All of them. chains. That's because they carry each pound of anxiety, each pound of care, responsibility is like a brick on their shoulder that presses on their lower back. And when I feel it in my lower back, I need to throw off responsibility. I need to throw off care. And the most responsible way to do that is to make God responsible. Say, Lord, I put this in your big hands, and I'm asking you to see to it. Amen?